guys, welcome back. So we're gonna move on to do some detailing on the blade. Now something I noticed on my blade is that I don't like some of the edges. It's not fluid enough. The reason for that is because I have so many poly loops and they're not very even. So I'm gonna do some cleanup here right away. So I'm gonna use BZM and use the delete edge loop complete so that I can get rid of some of the edges. That and that guy, maybe that guy and that guy. Okay, and I'm also gonna use the slide edge loop complete just to bring them or even their position out. Okay, so I'm basically trying to smooth out my model on the edge. You can see now the edge is much more fluid. Okay, anyway. So I want to create some detail in the middle part. Let me make sure that I have symmetry on. Okay, I'm gonna do holding down Alt and select some of the faces, like these guys maybe. Okay, and I'm gonna actually go inside these guys inwards, inside region, so that I can make them go in just a little bit. And then I'm gonna move it inwards, so I'm gonna use the extrude and extrude polygroups so that I can push those guys in just a little bit. I don't want them to be too deep. I'm gonna go back to the inside again, inside region. Sorry, inside polygroup all, inside region. Right? Do it just a little bit and do it one more time. That's gonna tighten that up, and I'm gonna Control Shift click on the pink part and Control Shift X to grow that, and Control W. That's going to make the middle part that I do want to populate some detail looking really sharp, or reaches all the way to the edge, if not. Perfect. Anyway, I'm going to do the BDM again. I'm going to also maybe tighten this up if I wanted to. I'm not sure yet. Insert a single edge loop. Have one loop here so that's sharper. I don't know, smoother or sharper. I'm not sure which one should I go for, but I'm gonna go with smoother actually. Looks like a little different. Maybe that's better, not sure yet. Anyway, so let's say I'm happy with this is where I'm gonna have some detail over there, right? So what I'm gonna do here is Control D a few times until I reaches at least millions of polygons. Control Shift, click on the middle part, mask it, and invert the mask so that I can apply my detail on there. You can of course smooth the mask just a little bit by Control and clicking. Okay. That actually doesn't matter because it's too dense. Okay, let me go to here, surface and noise. I'm gonna load some noise. This is some reference I gathered, and ignore that dog. And I can do some, use this noise to give me some nice detail. I'm gonna try, I don't know, maybe the first guy here. Let's take a look. Alright, it looks nice. I'm gonna turn off that mix basic noise, and I can change the alpha size, make it smaller, and I can then press OK. So those are going to be some detail I want to apply on my model. I can apply to mesh to directly apply that, or if I want to control how much they bump out, I can mask by noise, so I can mask them first, and then I can maybe inflate things out, right, to have some detail like that. Alright, I think they're too dense. Actually, I'm gonna have them not repeating that much. So let me go back to the noise, go to edit. I'm going to change the alpha scale to something maybe a little bigger than that. And then press OK. Again, I can mask by noise, and I want to mask invert it. Shift click on it and click on it again so that I can mask this part. Alright, and maybe I can also just Control and click to smooth the alpha. again, Control Alt and click to sharpen the alpha so that I can get some smoother edging. And let me inflate these guys out just a little bit. I don't want them to be too strong here. And then clear the mask. Now I have some nice detail on this part. Okay. So that's just gonna be some of the basic ideas so that you can repeat some, nice sculpting detail here and there. Right. Now, if you wanted to reserve the detail here as a mask because you want to pen those guys maybe differently in Substance Spinner, right? You want to turn on the noise, and let me actually mask by noise here, right? I'll turn off labeling. Right. And I actually have to do that before I bump those guys out. So what you do is you also give them a group, and then because they are a group, right, you can then use those as ID maps if you wanted to. Smooth and sharpen that. I actually don't want to do that. Maybe I did that already. I'm not sure. Anyway, let me then inflate those guys out. Definitely not smoothing those guys before. So let me go back. Noise, mask by noise, and Control Shift. Oops. Better do that before I yeah, that's good, that's good. Invert mask, Control W. Oh, better do that after, I guess. So let me just invert it, sorry, inflate it. They're going out. Oops. Oops, don't want to do that. Alright, and don't think that's enough. Let's just do some more inflate. And Control I, right? And to invert the mask, Control W to mask that area. So now that group have a polygroup here, so that you can easily use that as an ID map if you wanted to do that. Okay. Now, of course, one thing you have to be aware of that if you go lower the subdivision level and go back in, you lose that, right? So that's gonna be the downside of that. So you want to make sure that you don't lower the subdivision level anymore. Otherwise, you will have that trouble. Okay. It does have a polygroup. You can do a polypaint. Right? You can do the polypaint from polygroups so that they have that stored there. Okay. And turn on colorize. That way you will have a constant reserved color information on there as the ID map to paint texture in Substance. Okay, of course you can do this in Substance Painter too. I just feel it's more consistent workflow here in ZBrush. Again, having two packages involved in the production pipeline is a disaster in most of the cases because it's just so inconvenient and you're working bland because you have to work part of the things in one of the package and you have to move on to another package, and it's just gonna be disturbing and you just don't know what the final result is gonna look like, and that's gonna be a big trouble to me at least. I don't really like that kind of a workflow. Okay, so that's some detail here. I have explained some of the techniques here by using the poly paint to store the ID map there. I think that's important so that you will not having trouble when you're texturing those guys in Substance Painter. So I guess that's really worth mentioning. And don't worry too much about those things. They look chunky, but that's okay because when you're baking normal map, the high res mesh will be having soft edge so that those things are gonna bake very soft. So don't worry about those chunky edges. All right, that's gonna be it for this clip here. And in the next tutorial, we're just gonna keep going and create more, details on the model.